Hey, kia ora. Markie here again from retract.com, psychotherapy and coaching practice for treating retroactive jealousy. So I just wanted to say a few words really about recovery from retroactive jealousy and the role of therapy or treatment, because people get quite kind of confused around this. So what we've found is, like I said, there's no research into any of this yet. The field is so new, this condition's still not been officially recognised. So we only have kind of anecdotal information to go on, but we're gathering more and more of that, and it seems that recovery from retroactive jealousy can be quite speedy. It can be 6 months to 6 to 12 months. I've seen evidence of that. So that's encouraging. But this doesn't occur with people who cut corners. This only occurs with people that leave no stone unturned. This is people who will crawl over broken glass to get well from retroactive jealousy, and not everybody has that level of commitment. And the other thing as well is sometimes there are secondary gains. Probably do another video on secondary gains. So there are other reasons why people don't recover or don't recover as quickly. And the last video where I covered sometimes there are underlying or co-occurring conditions which make recovery more difficult. But recovery for a straightforward case of retroactive jealousy can take as little as 6 months if somebody's really working a program. And we can recommend programs for you to follow. So Zachary Stockhill's got a program that he recommends. So be hopeful. You can get well from this stuff, but you've got to do it 150%, 200%. You've got to really throw yourself into it. Now, how does therapy fit in with this? Well, people get confused because people think that they've got to be in therapy for 6 months to a year in order to get well from retroactive jealousy. You don't necessarily. Therapy with retroactive jealousy, the right therapy, a little bit of it goes a long way. So often we find that we see people for quite brief time. And I guess the emphasis is probably more on mentoring and coaching and giving them techniques to apply than it is on the deeper aspects of therapy. But a few sessions, even in some cases one session has got somebody on track, and then they've been able to pursue a good recovery. The issue comes where then maybe you need to get a bit deeper into what's behind the retroactive jealousy, because the OCD part of it, the brain part of it, there's a very kind of structured way of working with that. That's kind of mainly a kind of cognitive behavioural approach, and that's looking at a system for treating obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay. Now, obsessive compulsive disorder takes many forms. Okay, so obsessive compulsive disorder can mean somebody is constantly washing their hands, or they have a real aversion to stepping on cracks in the pavement, or they're constantly counting things, or they check that they've locked the door, endless times. So the interesting question is, why has your OCD manifested around this topic, this area, this issue? So the chances are that there are some issues around some of the beliefs that you've inherited about sex, relationships, about yourself, and those probably are worthy of some examination if you want to get well. So the first thing to do is to reduce the severity of the symptoms. So brief intervention can be very good for that, and the cognitive behavioural therapy approach can be quite good for that. But then if you really want to get into why your focus and your obsession was around your partner's romantic and sexual past and not around food hygiene or not around something completely different, that's where ongoing depth therapy is really useful. So what we have in our team at Retract is we're able to provide both. So we have among the team a psychoanalytically trained psychotherapist who can work with you longer term and get into some of the much deeper stuff. Okay, that kind of therapy is best face-to-face, but it can be done to a degree through Skype. Obviously, we work internationally, so we see a lot of people through Skype. So I hope that's kind of clarified things. So recovery from retroactive jealousy doesn't occur unless you put the work in. And that's a multifaceted program that's working in lots of different areas in your life simultaneously on a daily basis, putting lots of effort and energy into that recovery. Okay, if you do that, you can get well within 6 months to a year, possibly even sooner than that. Okay, therapy can be a very integral part of that. Therapy can be good to get you on track, or if you're already on track but you're struggling, not getting the results you want, therapy can kind of super boost your recovery. And if you've got deeper issues, and often, you know, that's the way, there usually is something co-occurring with retroactive jealousy. You know, there's you know, different issues that maybe you get rid of the retroactive jealousy, but they bother you in another form, or you suffer other kinds of symptoms, or you're troubled by other things. So that is where more long-term therapy comes into it. Now, why don't you just see your local counsellor, stroke therapist around the corner, non-specialist? Well, you can. The danger is talking about the content of RJ obsessions makes them worse. So if you go to an unskilled therapist that's not aware of retroactive jealousy, and probably there's only a handful of therapists in the entire world that are aware of retroactive jealousy, then they may kind of dwell on the content of your obsession, and that will make you worse. So that's not a good idea. One of the things that we offer is supervision to other therapists. So if you do want to work with another therapist, you've got a favourite therapist that you work with, or somebody local, somebody that you want to work with, and they're prepared to invest in you and invest in your treatment, we will have a Skype session with them, and we will give them coaching in how to treat retroactive jealousy. So that's another way of approaching the issue. Now, if you are thinking about seeking help, professional help from a non-retroactive jealousy specialist, then probably a CBT therapist would probably, that's cognitive behavioural therapy, would probably be your best bet, and present to them and say, look, you've got a form of obsessive compulsive disorder, and can they work with you on that? And if you live in the United Kingdom, you can get that help for free on the National Health Service via what they call improving access to psychological therapy services. So in every area, there is a team available that treat depression and anxiety, and they're open access. What that means is you don't have to go to your GP to get referred to them. You can kind of ring them up, or knock on the door, or email them and say, I'm suffering from some OCD, can you help me? If you're thinking about doing this, then do it sooner rather than later, because they'll probably have a waiting list. It's quite likely there'll be a wait, so get yourself on the waiting list, and then you can be doing other work, like for example reading some of the books we recommend, or looking at some of the resources, or watching some of these videos in the meantime. So I hope that helps. So what we offer, just a quick recap of what we offer at retract.com, is we offer the kind of coaching, mentoring, cognitive behavioural kind of approach of symptom management, which is about getting rid of the symptoms and shifting the mind states that cause the OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder type symptoms. What we also do is provide depth psychotherapy that goes a little bit deeper into what may be behind them, and working with you as a whole person, with not just looking at you as a set of symptoms, but looking at you as a human being with great complexity, and working with that whole picture. So we're trained psychotherapists. We can work with trauma, we can work with history of sexual abuse, or there's nothing really that we wouldn't be able to support you with. So that's one of the things that we offer. I also offer hypnotherapy. That's only available on a face-to-face. That's not kind of a one-off cure for retroactive jealousy. That is just, again, something to help boost your recovery, to help you along the way. But the thing that I'm really keen to do is workshops. So if you're interested in workshops, there will be, at the moment, they'll be in New Zealand, probably in Wellington or Auckland. And if enough people are interested, I will run a workshop. We'll run it somewhere nice, maybe a nice hotel, nice venue, for a weekend. You get to fly to Aotearoa, the beautiful the beautiful country of the south, the land of the long white cloud, as it's known, and do some really serious group work on your retroactive jealousy. So that's another approach that we're offering. I'm really keen to do that. So I hope that's helpful. I managed to keep that reasonably short as well, which is good. I will catch you soon. I've got the camera the wrong way round, so bad Markie. Have a look below at the description box if you like what we do and you want to support us and help us get this message out to more people. There's some details of how you can do that. Also, the link to the website's there, link to the Facebook group is there, and if you go on the website, it tells you all about what we do and who we are. There's pictures of the practitioners and profiles of the practitioners. So hope that's all helpful. Take care. Rangimarie.